You don't fall in love with the trophy first. You fall in love with the work. And that's where a lot of people get it twisted. They want the applause. They want the title. They want the lifestyle. But they don't want the early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifice when nobody is watching. I'm telling you right now, if 2026 is going to change everything for you, it's not going to start with a breakthrough moment. It's going to start with a decision to respect the process. See, the process is unglamorous. It's repetitive. It's doing the same thing over and over again when you don't feel like it, when the results aren't showing up yet, when your friends think you're doing too much. But that's where growth lives. That's where discipline is born. Anybody can be excited when things are going good, but the ones who win are the ones who show up when nothing is happening, when there's no reward, when there's no recognition, when all you've got is belief. You've got to understand this. The process is preparing you for what you asked for. If you skip the work, you won't be able to handle the blessing. That grind is strengthening your mindset, sharpening your focus, building endurance. Every day you commit to the process, you're becoming someone new, even if you can't see it yet. And that's the part that scares people. They quit because they don't see immediate results, not realizing the real results are happening internally first. You don't wake up great. You don't wake up disciplined. You earn it. One choice at a time, one workout, 1 hour of study, one moment where you say no to comfort and yes to growth. That's how momentum is built. Not overnight, not by luck, by consistency, by showing up when motivation disappears, and commitment is all you've got left. If you can learn to love the process, you'll stop chasing success and start attracting it. You won't need external validation because the work itself will validate you. And when the results finally come, and they will come, you won't crumble under pressure because the process already made you strong enough to carry it. Trust the process because it's changing you long before it changes your life. Let me tell you something real. Pain is not your enemy. Comfort is. Pain is the receipt that proves you paid for the life you said you wanted. Everybody wants purpose, but not everybody is willing to pay the price that comes with it. And that price is discomfort. It's struggle. It's moments where you feel like quitting, but you don't. That's the process working on you. See, pain exposes who you really are. When things are easy, everybody looks committed, everybody looks strong, but let pressure hit. Let life squeeze you. Let the doors close. That's when the excuses show up. That's when the weakness tries to speak. And that's also when growth has a chance to be born if you don't run from it. Too many people in 2026 are going to try to avoid pain, numb pain, distract themselves from pain. But the ones who rise are the ones who sit in it, learn from it, and let it shape them. Pain is teaching you discipline. Pain is teaching you focus. Pain is stripping away the soft habits and building mental toughness. You don't develop resilience in comfort zones. You develop it in the fire. I need you to hear this clearly. The struggle you're in is not punishment. It's preparation. That rejection, preparation. That failure, preparation. That season where it feels like nothing is working, preparation. You're being stretched because what's coming requires more strength than you have right now. If life didn't push you, you wouldn't grow. If it didn't challenge you, you stay average. Stop asking why it's hard and start asking what it's building. Every time you choose to keep going despite the pain, you're building confidence that can't be taken from you. You're proving to yourself that you're not fragile. You're proving that pressure doesn't break you. It forges you. And listen, pain doesn't last forever, but the strength it builds does. The lessons stay. The mindset stays. The hunger stays. One day you're going to look back and realize the hardest moments were the moments that changed you the most. You won't regret the pain, you'll respect it. So don't waste your struggle. Don't complain about what's shaping you. Embrace it because the pain you survive today is the power you walk in tomorrow. Let me be honest with you. Talent will get you noticed, but consistency will get you results. Everybody gets inspired. Everybody feels motivated when they hear a powerful message or see someone else winning. But inspiration fades. Motivation comes and goes. What separates the ones who change their life from the ones who keep talking about it is what they do on the days they don't feel like doing anything. Consistency is not flashy. It doesn't get applause. It doesn't trend. It's waking up and doing the work when your body is tired and your mind is doubting. It's showing up on regular days, ordinary days, boring days. That's where the separation happens. While most people are waiting to feel ready, the consistent ones are already moving. You don't need to do something extreme. You don't need to burn yourself out trying to prove something. You need to be reliable to yourself first. 1 hour a day, one disciplined decision, one promise kept. Do that long enough and your life has no choice but to change. The problem is most people quit right before consistency starts to compound. Understand this, consistency builds identity. When you show up every day, stop asking who you want to be because your actions answer that question for you. You become disciplined by practicing discipline. You become confident by keeping your word. You become strong by staying committed when quitting would be easier. Average is crowded because average requires no consistency. Anybody can go hard for a week. Anybody can lock in for a month. But staying committed when there's no excitement, no progress, no praise, that's rare. That's why the results are rare. And that's why in 2026, consistency is going to be the difference between those who talk about potential and those who live in purpose. Let me tell you something powerful. Consistency outworks excuses. You don't argue with discipline. You submit to it. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You do the work anyway. And every time you do, you widen the gap between who you used to be and who you're becoming. You may not see progress today. You may not feel different this week. But stay consistent because momentum is building silently. And one day, without warning, everything will shift in your favor. Stay consistent because average can't keep up with discipline. Let me shift your focus for a moment because too many people are chasing outcomes and missing the real transformation. You're so locked in on what you want to get that you're not paying attention to who you're becoming. And that right there is the real win. The process was never just about the money, the position, the platform, or the recognition. It was about building a version of you that can sustain success when it finally shows up. Life has a way of exposing people who arrive too early. You've seen it. People who get opportunities they weren't prepared for, and it breaks them. Not because the opportunity was bad, but because their character wasn't ready. That's why the process takes time. It's shaping your mindset. It's building patience. It's teaching humility, discipline, and self-respect. Those qualities don't come from shortcuts. They come from struggle. Every challenge you face is asking one question. Who are you becoming under pressure? Are you growing or are you complaining? Are you learning or are you blaming? Because success doesn't just test your skills, it tests your character. And if your character can't carry the weight, success becomes a burden instead of a blessing. You're not just learning how to win, you're learning how to handle winning. You're learning how to stay grounded when things go right and resilient when things go wrong. That's why the setbacks matter. That's why the delays matter. They're teaching you emotional control, mental strength, and leadership. They're forcing you to develop standards for yourself. When nobody is holding you accountable, one day you'll realize you don't react the same way you used to. You don't panic as fast. You don't fold under pressure. You don't chase validation. That's growth. That's evidence the process did its job. You didn't just reach a goal. You evolved. And here's the truth most people never hear. Once you become that person, results can be taken away, but your identity can't. Titles can be lost. Money can fluctuate. Circumstances can change. But the discipline, confidence, and mindset you built are permanent. That's why the process is priceless. So stop measuring progress only by what you have. Measure it by how you think, how you respond, how you carry yourself. Because when the process finishes shaping you, going back to average won't even be an option. You don't just win in life, you become someone who knows how to win.